obviously, part and parcel of web development is setting up servers and how you set servers up. You've got all different kinds of hosting. You know, if you talk about websites, you've got obviously shared hosting, which is the cheapest. Shared hosting means you've got one server box, unfortunately being shared by 200, 300 websites. So if someone's hammering the server, your website's going to slow down to the point of being unreachable. You've got VPNs, virtual private networks, so you kind of your own little box in the cloud. You've got dedicated servers. But when you get to an application level, when you're developing a software application, you have to think really hard about how you structure those servers in that application and how you structure the code. It used to be that software was developed all as one thing, okay? You would call that kind of a monolithic architecture. So the application, say customer happiness system, for example, all the code would sit together in one code base. It would be one application, and that was it. So, and that app would maybe run on a few servers with load balancing, things like that. But that's become a very outdated way of working. A lot of big applications now use what they call Microservices Architecture. Now, microservices is very, very simple in its kind of implementation and really the idea behind it. Now, the idea is that you take a big application and you split it up into lots of little pieces. Now, what we have for CHS, we have kind of a front-end app, which is built with a JavaScript framework called Meteor. We've got our database. We use a NoSQL database called MongoDB. We've got a message queue system called Rabbitmq. Now, this becomes important in microservices because everything's split up. You need a good way of all the different apps to communicate with each other, to know what each other's doing, to send data between it. So this is what this thing does. So you've got this kind of front-end app, but you've got these workers as well. And the workers are kind of doing very specific things. We've got workers for surveys, for sending out surveys. We've got a contact worker for effectively, it kind of, whenever you put a contact into the system or generate a contact list, it deals with all that. We've got track, which means that when everyone clicks a link in an email, it will track that person's click all the way back to the website, record the result, send them into a thank you page for more feedback. And we've also got another one for our API. So API, application programming interface, I think. But an API you have an API for other services to talk to your service. So big applications like Mailchimp, which is an email marketing platform, will have an API. That API may send, so okay, with Mailchimp, you may use Mailchimp to send a email about, okay, if you're a business, 3AA, let's use 3AA, 3AA, how do you pronounce 3? 3 AAA. So, no, 3 AAA, they may send you guys an email to ask about, I don't know, the things you're interested in. Okay, for example, I don't know what would happen. Now, you guys get that email. You say, all right, are you interested in this, click to find out more. Now, obviously, 3 AAA will want to know what you clicked on, what you're interested in, and they're going to want to record that data. Now, the email survey can also record the click, but that's going to go back to Mailchimp. Potentially, that data then is lost. So, so what we might want to do is we might want to put that data. So, so-and-so is interested in setting up servers, or whatever. Record that data to another system. So, for example, say 3 AAA, we're using a CRM for holding all of your data, all your contact data. You may want to put that information in with your record, so there's a constant record. So Mailchimp, the email marketing application, would have to talk to the CRM application. That is what you need an API for. There are other ways you can do it as well. Generally, they still need an API. Everyone heard of Zapier? Or, I'm trying to think what the other one is. If this, then that. kind of services where you can kind of set up like trigger events. You can even do it with your phone. So you can have like you push a button on your phone, trigger like a text or something like that. So you can set up events and have certain things trigger other things. But all of these things, the way applications talk to each other, they all need an API of some kind. So this is kind of what this thing is.